Yeah.
Good evening. It is 5:02. I will call the August 11th meeting of the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority Board to order. We do have 4 members present. Trace Yates is not with us this evening. Second item on the agenda is the Secretary Treasurer's report.
So we're in good standing, and we're in the midst of our audit, which is moving along at record speed, and thanks to Heather and her colleagues that are working on it. And I believe there's availability of the treasurer's report if anybody would like to see one.
Our financials are for, I guess it'd be July, or in the back.
Okay. Any questions on the Secretary Treasurer's report?
Nope.
All right. First item of new business is approval of the June 16th meeting minutes. Those have been distributed to the members in advance. Are there any comments or revisions to the minutes?
None?
All right. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give Dion first. Zach, can I take yours as a second?
My second.
All right. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the June 16th meeting minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion unanimously carries. We have 3 other items of business this evening. First is Resolution 2025-04, which is an amended and restated city services agreement. This is an amendment to the city services agreement, which we previously did adopt several months ago. This makes modifications specifically related to staffing of the Economic Development Liaison position. So those have been reviewed and approved by Corporation Counsel and by our council. And I'd be happy to entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-04.
So moved?
Is there a
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the amended and restated city services agreement? Seeing none. All in favor of approving Resolution 2025-04 as presented, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion unanimously carries. The next item on our agenda is the contract for the FHRA Economic Development Liaison. As you all know, since March of this year, Greg Goodnight has been serving in a dual role with helping the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority in a role as Economic Development Liaison. The City Services Agreement that was just approved contemplates that continuing to work and contemplates coordination between the mayor and the FHRA in that person, naming that person, and also working through their roles and responsibilities. So this contract has been reviewed and approved by both, submitted by Mr. Goodnight and also reviewed and approved by Corporation Counsel and our council. Are there any questions related to the contract for the Economic Development Liaison, which would actually be with Mr. Goodnight's LLC, which is Connecting Strategies LLC? Are there any questions or comments related to that document?
We do.
Counselor? You can. Just give your name for the record, please.
Lisa Chavis, Counselor at Large, City of Lawrence. Good evening, everyone. I just, not having seen the contract, I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
You said that the service agreement had been amended. Can you just highlight what the amendments were?
To the city services agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, so the city services agreement, we contemplated a slightly different approach to having Mr. Goodnight serve in this role, which would have been the reuse authority contributing a salary to the city, and then Mr. Goodnight serving a couple roles that way. We've decided that that's not the approach we want to use, so instead, we're not contributing that money to the city anymore. We're keeping it and going to pay Mr. Goodnight directly. So that's the main change in the amended city services agreement. Otherwise, it is effectively in the form that it has been for the last number of years.
Okay, so essentially, just making sure I understand, so essentially, instead of getting paid by the city, Mr. Goodnight would be paid by the FHRA.
For this this
For
portion of.
this particular portion, for this role as
Correct.
the liaison.
Correct.
Okay, I just have a couple of questions and concerns, and I'm not sure if you can address them or not, but I'm not certain, but according to the last redevelopment commission meeting, Mr. Goodnight is the executive director of the redevelopment commission, as well as chief of staff, and now liaison for this. You know, one job is a lot. 3 jobs is unfathomable in my mind. As a member of the council, I would be concerned the duties and the responsibilities of the liaison conflicting with the duties and responsibilities for the chief of staff, in addition to the duties and responsibilities of the redevelopment commission. And I don't know if you took that in consideration, but I would like for you to, and I would like for you to consider that as you make your decision. You know, I'm not sure if there's overlap in those roles, but I would be concerned if there were overlap. So just some things that I wanted to bring to your attention and to our constituents' attention. And if you can address them, fine. If you weren't prepared to address them, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just learning about the service agreement and this within the last day, so.
I'm happy to talk about my perspective, and then Mr. Goodnight's here, and he can talk about his as well. I can tell you that I think, you know, part of what we've tried to do in the last 20 months is to have a concerted approach to economic development in the city, and that both through the Redevelopment Commission and through the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority, trying to have one vision for economic development. That's both, you have been around for years as well as I have, and that's not always been how economic development was done in the city of Lawrence. Sometimes it was an us versus them, and I think having one concerted effort and vision is really important to us, that there be no wrong door in having one person serve. Both the Redevelopment Commission and the Reuse Authority in that capacity is really important, and we feel, or I won't say I feel, I won't speak for any other board member, I feel that is something we gain by having one person serve, you know, with multiple hats in the city, and that's why I'm supportive of this request.
Yeah, thank you. I guess my only comment would be, I've been doing this since right around January 15th, so I'm, whatever that is, 7 months, going into 8 months of doing this, so I haven't heard any complaints, any concerns. If there are, I'd be happy to try to address them, whether I'm dropping the ball on RDC or the Chief of Staff's job, or as the interim director of the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority. I know there's a lot of overlap. We get calls, Heather's, you know, to the people that live or want to do work, I guess, in Lawrence. Sometimes those boundaries where, you know, FHRAs and redevelopment commissions, there's may just be crossing one city street, and so a lot of times if it doesn't fit FHRA, it could work in another part of the city.
There are other comments from the redevelopment, or from the Reuse Authority members.
I just had one follow-up question, if I may. So I don't think there was I have no knowledge, and no one's brought to me any concerns about quality of work with Mr. Goodnight, so that's not at issue here. I guess the thing that puzzles me as someone who's trying to be very mindful of and I understand that the FHRA is a separate body than the council, it's a separate budget. I understand all that, but at the end of the day, we're one city, serving one constituency, and I get concerned when there's a lot of overlap, and there's a lot of overlap with expenses. And if truly it's to have a coordinated effort, then why not have one role that coordinates those efforts. So, and you don't have to answer. That's my concern, and that's my question, and I just wanted to put it on the record. Thank you all, appreciate your time.
Well, I'll take your question as rhetorical then, and I won't
Okay.
answer it.
Okay, thank you. Did you?
To that point, I think that's what this achieves. You're right, we all have one constituency to serve, but we also have different rules that we have to play by. And so therefore, to have one person serving 3 different bodies that have different rules kind of achieves that overview and that one person doing that one job, since the city person can't really do it for the reuse authority, and the redevelopment person can't do it for the reuse authority, and the reuse authority can't do it for the other 2 entities. That's how I'm viewing it,
Yeah.
that's all.
I think that makes perfectly good sense to me. I think I struggle with one person getting 3 different paychecks.
Different issue.
So I just wanna put that
That's a fair
out
question, different issue, though, yeah.
But that's,
Yeah,
if I didn't make that clear,
Yeah.
that's my concern,
gotcha.
for the record.
Zach,
Thank you.
Zach, do you have?
Just for the record, I've received 0 compensation for the RDC, and at this point have not received any additional compensation from Fort Harrison Reuse Authority. So,
What is additionally?
since I,
You do it without pay?
without pay, I've not received, I make the exact same salary as chief of staff that my predecessor did, and I have not, to this point, made a dime more. And just to reiterate, as we look at Senate Enrolled Act 1 and the reform to property taxes, the mayor's been very forthright in working on job combinations, well beyond Redevelopment Commission and the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority. She's not replaced, I can think of just off the top of my head, 2 key staff members, department heads that she has not replaced, and instead has extended their responsibilities onto other people to pick up those responsibilities, and probably has no intention of backfilling those positions either. And for the record, you're going to be seeing more of that, not just in Lawrence, but other cities as well.
I appreciate that. I just asked that we kind of get back to the business of the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority. So, Zach, did you have a comment?
No, my I guess question was answered, so.
Dion, anything? All right. I don't know that I took a motion on this. So is there a motion to approve the contract for the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority Economic Development Liaison?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Zach. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dion. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor of approving the contract as stated, please signify by saying aye.
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 I vote aye. Passes unanimously. Last item of new business is Resolution 2025-05, which is the Foamcraft Project Incentive Agreement. As you all may remember or be aware, we broke ground on the Foamcraft project in, I believe it was in April of this last year. They have made significant development already. The walls are beginning to be stood up there. And one of the things that did not get completed prior to them acquiring the property in February was any incentive related to economic development on that project. So this is a incentive agreement with them that's been drafted by our council, which would do 2 things. It would incentivize the build-out of a potential restaurant space, or proposed restaurant space, and would provide some limited rent incentive for that same space. So the goal here is to attract and develop a restaurant use, which we do not have in Fort Harrison area, of a higher standard white tablecloth, which is something that we've been looking at and trying to pursue on the fort for the entirety of the almost 13 years I've been on the board. So this is a real opportunity. It's contingent upon this agreement being approved. So it has been presented to the restaurant or to the developer, and the resolution would authorize this in substantially the form provided here. So are there additional questions from the board related to this economic development agreement?
None?
I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-05.
So moved.
Motion by Karen, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dion. Any further discussion on this resolution? All right, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, Mr. Goodnight, any report, please?
Thank you. Just wanted to let you know that BCA is working on the DNR property, the Cinder Track site. They're doing a phase 2. This should, they should have the results of that phase 2 report sometime, they're hoping for the week of August 25th. Met with multiple developers, most of it housing, which we think is generated from the Mayor's Housing Task Force. Some have shown interest in some of the FHRA sites. Others have looked at properties outside of the scope of FHRA, but we continue to get a lot of looks and a lot of interest from housing developers. Finally, I think today, and Mr. President, you were on the email, we have got a meeting set up with Ivy Tech after a lot of outreach, and we have, I think it's going to be a virtual call to try to understand their long-term plan for the existing facility. And then lastly, we've had multiple meetings concerning a DORA and possibly a potential riverfront district licensing here in not just FHRA in that area, but maybe potentially other parts of the city. And that's kind of my general report. If you have questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Any questions for Greg?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Last item, is there any further public comment? All right. Going once. We don't usually have this many people at our meetings, so I wanted to make sure that if anybody had any comments. All right. Hearing none, our next regularly scheduled meeting is September 15th. We'll be back at the normal time at 5:30. So appreciate everyone being here at a slightly earlier time this week. Otherwise, hearing no further business, we'll adjourn the meeting at 5:19.
You need a motion to adjourn?